I think it is a mistake to assume that we will have high tariffs in perpetuity. I don't think that would be good economic policy. I am not a fan of tariffs. Tariffs are a tax on consumers, and I'm not a fan of jacking up taxes on American consumers. So my hope is these tariffs are short-lived and they serve as leverage to lower tariffs across the globe.
I genuinely hate to do it, but I'm going to have to mostly agree with Ted Cruz in this extremely limited instance, because Cruz is among a group of Republican senators that, by a rare principle or maybe just opportunism, have decided to actually speak out against Trump's tariffs. Now, before we turn to some of the others, let's first have Trump dump a bit of cold water on Cruz's hopes.
There have been some mixed messages from your administration. You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is the action?
Well, it can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations.
So basically, he has no idea what his plan is, but hey, maybe they'll just be on forever. You almost can't blame Cruz, though, because every step of this has been so utterly chaotic. And that's something that Rand Paul touched on in his remarks.
Tariffs are a terrible mistake. They don't work. They will lead to higher prices. They are a tax, and they have historically been bad for our economy. But even if this were something that was magic and was going to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I wouldn't want to live under emergency rule. I would want to live in a constitutional republic where there are checks and balances.
It's refreshing to hear multiple Republicans admitting the obvious for once, that higher prices are coming to you, and it's because of Trump's tariffs. And while Paul is talking about reasserting Congress's authority over tariffs, he's weirdly not among the initial 7 GOP senators that are backing a bill that would do exactly that. And I want to play one more clip from Paul where he makes a political argument that may sound like music to a Democrat in 2025 America.
Tariffs have also led to political decimation. When McKinley most famously put tariffs on in 1890, they lost 50% of their seats in the next election. When Hot Smoothie put on their tariff in the early 1930s, we lost the House and the Senate for 60 years. So they're not only bad economically, they're bad politically.
Considering that we're in this dark era of American history because of a lackluster economy giving Trump this incredibly narrow win, it's poetic justice that him tanking the markets may be what finally weakens his political brand.